Let me try to prove to you how Christianity is a fraud, of taking the battle to his own field, catching the lion in its own den. I am reminded of a very cryptic and satirical statement of a similar Archbishop of South Africa who confessed that he was misguided by Christian evangelists. Remember, it's an Archbishop of South Africa by name Tutu, Archbishop Tutu. He said very apparently jocularly that when Christian missionaries came to South Africa, they had the Bible and the South Africans the blacks had the land in their own hands. But after conversion, the lands were in the hands of the missionaries and the Bible was in the hands of the converts. Now, this is exactly the plan of the missionaries. That's what they've been doing. Now, that is by the side. Now, how shall I show the Christianity is a fraud? It is on record in the history of Christianity. Several people have written. In my student days of research, I came across a very interesting book by Edward Carpenter, whose views have been widely acclaimed and ascertained all over the world by Christians themselves who have left Christianity. Now, the center of Christianity is in a place called Vatican. The word Vatican comes from the Sanskrit word Vatika. It was a garden. It is on a hillock. Under the hillock, there is a temple of Mitra. Mitra is one form of the sun. In the Veda, the sun is said to have 12 different forms like Arka, Vishnu, Aryama, Pusha, Data, Varuna, and so on. Now, these 12 forms of worship were concentrated around a god called Mitra because of his friend of man. Mitraism was a very rampant and worldwide religion, and there were Hindu temples in Syria till about the so-called 6th century of Christ, when Pope Gregory destroyed it. It is on record. R.C. Muzumdar has recorded it in his first volume of Indian history of the 11th volume. The first volume, we have reference to it. Mithraism was a world honored religion. Now, when the Roman Empire collapsed because of the treachery of the Christians, when they converted the mother of Emperor Constantine to Christianity and then claimed Constantine himself into Christianity, he gave a public order that all the temples of the Romans and the Greeks should be destroyed, and the destroyers were patronized by the state itself, and therefore Christians had to invent a new religion. What did they do? They took away Mithraism and invented a fable. Now, how? You see, Christ is supposed to have 12 disciples, corresponding to Mithra's 12 different forms. Mitra, Bhaga, Aryama, Savita, and so on. The last of them, the last disciple of Christ, Judas, is supposed to have betrayed and got him crucified, and then resurrection happened, and so on. That's what the Christians say. How did it happen in Mithraism? The last month, the last winter month of the year, is when the sun, the God's sun in the sky, becomes a little cool. And people in the ancient days had a fear that he may die, he may lose his light, he may lose his fire, he may lose his heat, and therefore that phenomenon was taken over as the phenomenon of Judas betraying Christ. Then the resurrection. The sun is resurrected in the month of January with a double head, Janus. It is a Greek mythology, and it was the winter solstice. That is December 25th. Until about 3 or 4 centuries later than after the so-called founding of Christianity, the Christian so-called fathers did not have a date for the birth of Christ. They did not have because there was no Christ. Christ is a falsehood. And the Dead Sea Scrolls, which have been recently discovered, show that stories in the name of Christ existed more than 2 or 3 centuries before the so-called birth of Christ. Now, how could this happen? This is a fraud. The word Christ simply misses heavier. They have just said, if the stories were already there, somebody misappropriated all those stories into a mythical savior, and then a religion was founded. People have tried to prove that the real inventor of Christianity was the so-called Saint Paul, who was himself a Jew. They invented a Jew as the murderer of Christ, and therefore this ferocity of antagonism between Christianity and the Jews, it has worked out lots and lots of violence let loose upon the world. Now here is a great Christian scholar who has left Christianity, who says, while there is nothing to indicate the actual time of Jesus' birth, such an event most easily correlated to winter solstice festivals. The Romans' celebration of the birth of the sun god, Mithra, for instance, had also been observed on December 25th. And therefore, the birth of God's son at the solstice easily correlated to the birth of God's son. I don't want to quote more. You see, this is fraud. Borrowing somebody else's ideas and claiming it to be your own originality, that is fraud. In Hinduism, there is no fraud because there is not one particular founder. Neko Rishihi Yasya Matam Pramanam. There are dozens and dozens of great rishis, Gautama, Atri, Vasishtha, Jamadagni, and so on. And if truth is truth, it must get correlated from all angles. So Hinduism is not a fraud. Now, Mr. Archbishop, let me tell you, your religion is a fraud. You are a fraud.